Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this. It is the Skoda Rapid Onyx. It's a limited edition variant. Let's quickly open the engine bay. So yes, it is available with both petrol as well as diesel engines with both manual as well as automatic gearbox options. As you can see, it's a nice engine bay, very neatly packed, and I love the cover on this car with the black Skoda logo over here. They should have actually had it in chrome. It would have looked better. And obviously there's insulation over here. Still that insulation doesn't work because this car is very loud indeed. As you can see, the front looks really very nice. I love the chrome, and it has the Skoda design DNA right now because the design language is in line with the Octavias as well as the Superb. Beautiful Skoda logo. This is the new one. Neha hates this logo. She loves the old logo, and she says this logo is the reason why she's not updating to the new Superb, which is a load of bull. Yeah. Anyways, as you can see, the lights have a lot of detailing. There's a projector setup. This has this chrome eyelash as well, and of course it also gets a white light, so definitely looks very nice. There's a towing hook over here. These are cornering lights over here, and the grille looks beautiful on this car. In fact, this particular color is known as lapis blue. It looks very nice indeed. Certainly better than the one on the Vento, but hey, these 16-inch clubber alloy wheels also look very nice on this vehicle. These are 195/55 tires, and of course they are multi-spoke units. Chrome Skoda logo over here, gloss black finish over here on the rear view mirrors. From the side also this car looks really very nice, but yes, it's kind of looking dated now, but still the design is quite nice and fresh, at least at the front. At the rears, it's still the same as the old one. Over here on the side, you know, you get this. Actually, don't get anything. What am I searching for? Anyways, over here at the rear, I know the car is a little dirty, I don't know why, but the problem is, in order to open the boot, you can't just put your hand like this. Actually you can, because there's also a keyhole over here, so this seems like an afterthought. They should have removed this. It's not needed anyways, because you can open the boot by pressing this button as well. There are 4 ways to open the boot. Okay, you press this, you open from here, you press this, or you open it from there as well. As you can see, there's good amount of space in the boot, but this protruding wheel arch isn't a nice idea. Over here you can see there's this exposed metal, which shouldn't be the case, but that's for safety. And the spare wheel isn't an alloy. Well, it's not even the standard size because it is a 175/70 14-incher, and there are some chocolate chip muffins over here. Muffin squad. Yeah, it is pure vegetarian apparently. Anyways, as you can see, the car's boot could have been bigger, but I love the color on this vehicle. I don't know why birds love this color so much. Why did you do that, birdie? As you can see, the door pockets aren't large enough, so I've just stuffed the freaking bottles over here, and there isn't much space in the rear, especially when you compare it with the Honda City or the Maruti Ciaz, which have a more airy feeling. But the seat is comfortable. Under thigh support is lacking. Scooped out seat back, magazine holder over here. Headroom is not that great because my head is almost touching. There's a light placed over here, which is a nice touch, and there's a center armrest here as well. It doesn't get any cup holders, unfortunately, and I actually like the treatment on the seats. Beige treatment gives it an airy feeling, but only 2 people can sit here because this center console extends all the way. There's a hump here in the center. There's a 12-volt charging socket over here, and there's a cup holder here as well. There's an AC vent placed over here as well. So let's quickly get into the front seat of this vehicle, and there's a lot to talk and a lot not to talk, but hey, as you can see, the door pockets are large enough. This is to open the boot. These are the control for the outside rear view mirrors. This is to lock or unlock the car. These are power window switches. This is the child lock for the windows, which only works for the rear windows, not for the front windows. Why would you want to child lock your own door? Yeah, it's actually child lock the window. Whatever, just cut that in edit. As you can see, there's good amount of space over here in the floor area, and there's a dead pedal here as well. Everything seems blank over here. These are the controls for the light. This is for the headlight leveler. This is nice chrome touch over here around the AC vent surrounds for all the AC vents, which is again cool. The glove box is decent size. In fact, it's very big, but there are a lot of dummy switches over here. There's a space to keep your coins here as well. Let me keep the key here like that. Nice flip key. If you press all the buttons, you rather keep them pressed like this, all the windows will roll down. Yeah, this cool thing is there on almost every European car. And when I say European car, Europe is a continent and Germany is a country, so basically it engulfs everything in it. Anyways, let's open the car right away. The dashboard design isn't that adventurous. It started to look kind of dated now. The seats look very nice. They're comfortable. These are not leather seats. Unfortunately, at this price, you expect leather seats. And there's a center armrest over here. There's space to keep stuff over here. Rubbered so that you can keep your phone over here. Let me keep my BMW phone over here. Yes, it absolutely fits in here, but I don't think an iPhone XS Max would fit in over here. That's kind of disappointing. You can take the armrest all the way up. This is the handbrake of the car. Let me pull it up. Okay, the vehicle has locked itself automatically. Let me open it right away. As you can see, there's space to keep stuff over here. The twin bottle holders over here. There's a 12-volt charging socket over here. Meanwhile, this steering is adjustable both for reach as well as rake, which is a nice touch. And Over here we don't get any mirror, no light either, but there's space to keep your toll receipts. And this is the light over here. Kind of feels blank for this price point. There's a mirror over here, there's no light. Auto dimming inside rear view mirror. This is the button for the rear defogger, this is for the hazard light, this is for the traction control, and there's a card holder over here. You can slot your card. I don't think anyone's going to slot their card, but still you can keep other knickknacks over here. I don't know what is exactly knickknack when I said that right now, but hey, let's turn on the car. It sounds like a tractor. Yes, it comes to life. And I don't know why there's no cruise control in this car, although cruise control comes in this vehicle, and somehow it's not based on the top spec variant. Although the top spec variant goes till 17 lakhs, I think this is priced slightly lower for this limited edition model because there's no cruise control on offer. You can see there are no buttons over here on the steering, but there are buttons for the audio controls over here. The steering gets a flat bottom. There's a nice chrome touch over here. The horn is really nice. I love the Skoda logo over here. There's perforation over here. There are no leather seats in this car, which I think is there. Artificial leather is there on the other variants. There's climate control system. Air conditioning works really well in this vehicle, and there's an aux as well as a USB port over here. Meanwhile, as you can see, the instrument cluster is same as that on the Vento, and you can browse this multi-information display by pressing this button. Yeah, you can see the time, you can see the temperature, outside temperature, as well as the engine temperature, the speed, as well as the distance to empty over here. On the top we get the clock as well as the gear position indicator. Below we get the fuel meter. On the left we get a tachometer. On the right we get a speedometer, and it is telling me to put my foot on the brake. There I do it. Now I can change gears. So there's not much really inside the cabin, and for this price point a lot more was expected for sure. Now I'll tell you, there's a big problem in this vehicle, that it doesn't get a reverse parking camera. So when I got into reverse and I'm waiting, okay, now reverse parking camera will turn on. There are rear parking sensors, but there's no reverse parking camera at this point, which is a shocking omission. Meanwhile, it gets Apple CarPlay, it gets Android Auto connectivity, and the 6.5 inch touchscreen infotainment system is kind of slick. I mean, it could have been better, but it has got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, which is a good touch. But where is a reverse parking camera at this price point? Shocking omission, isn't it? So like you see, there's not many features to talk about. Obviously it gets airbags, that is 2 airbags, and it also gets hill start assist. I don't know if this particular variant gets it, but somehow there are a lot of things missing in this particular variant compared to the Rapid I had driven earlier, which I don't know why. Anyways, as you can see, the cabin is actually a decent place to be in. It has a lot of hard plastics. I mean, it is filled with hard plastics, but it is still very good in terms of build quality. You can see the doors shut with a proper thud. It feels like a tank, but how is it to drive? Well, as you can see, there's a piano black touch over here. Why are you digressing? Anyways, as you said, let's quickly play some audio right away. Where's the phone? Oh, I kept it here. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Audio quality is decent. It is not great, and yeah, I expected better at this price point, but then this is an old car and it is more of a driver delight. So let's quickly get driving. Alright, we are all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning right away, turning off traction control, getting into sport mode. And now traction is not turned off, you have to keep this pressed. Now it is turned off, turning off the hazard light, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. It doesn't rev, and here we go. There's an inherent lag in this motor, or rather the gearbox initially when you try to get go, which is a kind of a problem, because this motor, although it has a lot of punch, somehow it has an initial lag which really bogs down this vehicle. So if you want to do flat out acceleration, well, you have to time it perfectly, because this DSG gearbox isn't very responsive lower down, which is a big issue. Now the other issue with this car is that the engine is not very refined. It sounds very loud. In fact, it sounds like a tractor. Yeah, I kid you not, it sounds like a tractor, especially when it's idling. However, there's good amount of punch on offer. This 1.5 liter diesel produces 110 horsepower and the torque output is 250 newton meters. There's good amount of punch. In fact, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes just 10.7 seconds. Meanwhile, the manual actually takes 10.3 seconds. The manual is faster because it doesn't have the DSG lag. This has a lot of lag, and the lag is initially there. I think it is to increase the reliability of the gearbox, because if you do left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator and try to get go, it simply would not immediately take off. It will, slowly and surely, then it will build the revs and it will go. So you really can't rev the motor and then just fly away. Somebody suggested that in the DSG box, why don't you put it in neutral, rev it and then shift it up, but it doesn't work that way, because obviously the DSG box will again bog down once you shift the gear, and the gear shift will happen once you press the brake. So it's very complex as such. Now this engine has good amount of low end punch. In fact, even before the turbo kicks in, it gets going nicely and quickly, and the mid-range is really very strong. In fact, the mid-range really puts a smile on your face, because there's a kick in the pants feel as well. It pushes you back into the seat too. Meanwhile, the top end for a diesel engine is fab. It revs all the way to 5,000 1000 rpm, and it feels very exciting as well. In fact, it is so exciting in the top end that you will just want to go in the top end just to hear the noise or rather the sound. Now this diesel clatter might not be music to your ears, but it is to mine, because when I rev the nuts out of this motor, I absolutely love the way it sounds. It's mated to a 7-speed DSG gearbox, which is otherwise very quick with shifts as such. It will give you a downshift aggressively, especially when you're in sport mode. You can obviously get into manual mode, but you have to get into D, and then you can push the lever on the left, and then you can shift as per your liking. However, there are no paddle shifters on offer, which is a kind of a bummer over here. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Now it did rev till almost 1500 rpm, and off it goes, upshifting at around 4500 rpm. And the shifts are very slick and smooth as well. However, like I told you, there is a lot of noise from the motor. Now the other problem is, even with traction control off, this is not going to spin its wheels because of the DSG box. Meanwhile, the manual is much more fun to drive, and the reason is simple, because in the manual you can spin the wheels all to glory, because you can rev the motor, dump the clutch, and there make a lot of tire screeching noise as well. Meanwhile, in terms of dynamics, this car's suspension is on the softer side. Yes, the suspension is on the softer side, but overall the balance is quite good. In fact, it rides pretty well. Only it's the big fat bumps which rattle the car. Otherwise, it's very smooth on most roads, and body roll is also well contained. However, there is body roll, and the steering isn't very feelsome as such. It kind of feels a little artificial. Although, because of the powerful engine and of course the revving nature of this diesel power plant, you will definitely enjoy driving this vehicle, because it is a great performer in that sense. So it is actually a driver's car. Yes, it's not in the same league as say a Honda City, but then the Honda City is something else completely, especially the VTEC one. Now this diesel engine is certainly better than the one which we see in the city, because the engine in the city, it is also very noisy actually, and it's not as punchy, because this one is more high revving. That diesel engine doesn't rev as much, unfortunately, which is kind of disappointing. Meanwhile, the brakes on this car offer show footage stopping power, although there are no rear disc on offer, but you really don't need it, because otherwise the front disc itself are enough, and the rear drums also perform decently well in order to stop this car with sure-footedness. ABS does work well on this vehicle. In fact, it even has hill start assist on the automatic though. So launching this vehicle, revving it revs exactly to 1250 rpm, and off it goes. The way this motor revs is something else only. I know I can praise it endlessly. That's how well it revs actually. And the top speed of this car is around 185 kilometers per hour. But the problem is, it doesn't remain very stable at high speed. Somehow there's some wobbly effect happening in this particular vehicle which I've been driving. So yes, you have to be kind of cautious, but I did not expect that with a Rapid. However, because of the softer suspension, there is this whole feeling of wobbliness and lack of stability at higher speeds. Although in certain areas this car has started to show its age. Skoda has done a lot in terms of aesthetics, given it new colors and limited edition variants and more features and stuff like that. But still, at a price of rupees 17 lakhs, it still lacks a lot of features you would expect from a car of this segment and pricing. But that said, it is an absolute fun to drive car. If you're looking for a diesel automatic, there is no other car in the segment which offers this kind of performance from the gearbox as well as the engine. Yes, the Verna is more powerful and more refined and more smooth and has more features and whatnot, but the Rapid has a kind of soul to it. It's a fun to drive car. It feels so well built and put together. Yeah, there are a lot of hard plastics in this vehicle, but honestly, the Rapid is an absolute gem of a vehicle for a person who enjoys driving and really doesn't care about having extra features on board, because this car is build quality. It kind of feels like a tank. It's safe, and although it misses out on side airbags, which is surprising considering we are in 2019 and a lot of cars at this price point are already offering it. I honestly feel that the Rapid is a great car. It only needs more comprehensive updates to rival the likes of the Honda City and the Hyundai Verna, which offer a lot more considering the newer generation models are on sale in India. In fact, Neha, being a Skoda fan, really wanted to buy the Rapid. She sat in the vehicle, and what happened then?
No, I was not in any plan to buy this one.
Yeah, but
plastic feeling.
Yeah, when she sat in this vehicle, she's like, it has a lot of plastic feeling. Now obviously you cannot compare it to the Octavia or the Super, because they are like true Skoda cars. This is actually a Polo which has got a boot and then has been rebadged with Skoda, and obviously they have done a lot in terms of re-engineering the vehicle.
There's a lot.
Yeah, obviously it will wobble. Don't expect the kind of stability a D segment car offers. This is a C segment car, and yeah, it is quite old as well. 2011 it was launched, got multiple updates to the engine as well. From 1.6 diesel they come to 1.5 diesel. That 1.5 diesel which was launched, that was also updated because it got a locally sourced turbocharger, increasing the power from 105 horsepower to 110 horsepower. And that's not all. I mean, they have been giving a lot of updates to the Rapid to make it even better. Of course, it gets a 1.6 litre petrol engine available with both manual as well as automatic gearbox options. However, the problem is that there's no 1.2 litre available in the Rapid somehow, which is there in the Vector, and that engine is absolutely phenomenal. Direct injection turbocharging, what else you want in life. Anyways guys, bye bye.
तुमने बोला and mention नहीं किया.
Yeah. वो एक स्टैंडर्ड बना के रख दी, वो हर वीडियो में डाल देंगे वैसे ही। अच्छा बाय बाय बाय। क्या हुआ, देख क्या रही हो मुझे?